Hello. So today I'm going to talk about Project BU Fit, the method that I use when it comes to coaching. But first of all, I'm going to cover the problems that I see when it comes to the coaching industry, the coaches themselves, and then the clients. So I'm just going to get straight into it all. So first things first, the problems that I see with the coaching industry. So how it works right now is there's a lot of this thing called hustle culture. So everyone is just trying to hustle and make as much money as possible when it comes to online coaching, and therefore in return, a lot of people will get burnt when it comes to being coached. Also, what I see is people using steroids. So a lot of coaches are on steroids nowadays, and people are getting into the industry themselves because they want to better their own health and their own fitness. They don't realize that coach is on steroids, but even though that coach is looking fantastic, so to a person that doesn't know what they're looking at, they might be looking like, wow, they're in fantastic shape, they must be super healthy, therefore I'm going to get them to coach me. Well, in reality, they are full of steroids, and of course steroids will help you build your physique, etc., and you're not going to work as hard to get that physique, and a lot of it is just water retention, and it's a fake lifestyle that a lot of these coaches are living. So remember, when you see someone posting something online of themselves, you're only seeing the highlights of their life. And again, I see this a lot in the coaching industry, and it's a big problem, especially when it comes to steroids. And a lot of younger people are getting really burnt by this because they think they're going to look like their coach while their coach is not telling them that they're on steroids. So that's something to be wary of. Up next, then, the online coaches problem. So a lot of the programs that you will see, it's all copy and paste. They will give you the generic programs. They'll give you generic meal plans that they give other people, and that is it. And that kind of is intertwined with hustle culture. Then the coaches, they don't keep you accountable. There's no accountability. They will make the quick buck off you. They will give you everything, which is, again, copy and paste, and they won't keep you accountable. They just leave you to it. And then a lot of coaches, they don't teach you anything. They don't teach you anything about nutrition, how training actually works, the importance of rest, stress management, etc. You're pretty much, as I said, you're left on your own. And most importantly, the biggest mistake that most coaches make nowadays is there is no mindset work involved. Because at the end of it all, it's all to do up here. If you don't work mindset, if you don't have a vision, etc., I'm going to cover this in a couple of minutes, then yeah, you are going to be falling behind quickly, and you're going to go back into your old ways. Now, the other problem is, so there's the industry, it's the individual coach, but then there's a client problem as well. And the coach is the one who's supposed to catch this straight away from the start. So there's a lot of false expectations when people start being coached. There's unrealistic lifestyle changes that people make. They burn themselves out real quick and they go back into their old ways. And most people, they don't really want to do any mindset work. They just kind of refuse because they think it's cringy. Yeah, I don't really have to work on my mind. I just want to get the program. I want to get the meal plans and I will be fine. In reality, you might be fine for a couple of weeks, couple of months, but then you're going to go back into your old ways. So mindset is absolutely everything when it comes to coaching, and that's one of the massive things that I work on people with. So what it is that I do, I'm a mindset and transformation coach. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the results that I have on my Instagram page. If not, click on my Instagram, check it out. But mainly I work on people's mindset, make sure that they, there's more self-belief up here, and they have a vision of the person they want to become and the person they'll be happy with, or maybe more content. Because if you have no vision, you're not working towards anything. We just want to lose some weight, and we lose that weight. Well, guess what? If there was no vision of staying that kind of newer person, that better person that you want to be, you're going to go back to your old ways straight away. So your mindset is absolutely key in order for this to work. So we work on your mindset, and of course, then we're going to work on transforming your physique. So real quick, a little bit about me. You can see on the left-hand side right here, I was a skinny fat dude. I was very insecure with my body for a lot of years. And then I said, let's change it up. So now I am pretty built. I'm happy with my physique, and I've been training for over 8 years. And before I actually moved online, I was working on the gym floor for over 5 years. So I have 5+ years of experience of working with people in person. And yeah, that kind of, gave me a lot of personal on to, how to manage people, how to work with them, their mindsets, problems, issues, things that happen on the gym floor that a coach that's only been coaching maybe people online, they might not realize. So I think that gives me a lot of upper hand on a lot of coaches who only coach people online and they never worked with anyone on the gym floor. But again, I am only online now. Before I moved online, I worked for 5+ years on the gym floor. So who is it that I work with? Absolutely anyone that's willing to work with me. So complete beginners to advanced gym goers. You might be super advanced, but you might be plateaued somewhere. So this is where I come in. And if you're complete beginner, this is where I come in as well. So again, I had people from like 60-year-old professors, 40-year-old office workers, 20-year-old tradesmen, and so on. I literally work with anyone who's willing to put in the work themselves. And the coaching objective that I work with is, again, I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, it's the mindset and empowerment. That is my coaching objective towards you. We're going to work on your mindset. We're going to change your beliefs about yourself. A lot of people nowadays are super negative when it comes to their own sense of self, their own self-belief. So this is where I come in and I empower you. We want to work on your mindset. We want to make sure we create a vision that you're going to work towards, that better person that you want to become. And I'm going to make sure to empower you, because if I just give you generic meal plans, if I give you all these kind of things, you're going to follow along for a couple of months, you're going to get some results. And then afterwards, we start working together, you're going to go back to your old ways. So this is exactly what I want to stop with most of my clients. And this is what I do with most of my clients. I make sure that their mindset is completely different when they get the results. They were here as a person and now they're up here. So their mindsets are completely different. And I just cannot emphasize enough how important it is to work on your mindset and your mental health, especially in today's world. The kind of climate of just the political climate, things that are going on. There's just so much negativity out there. There's so much of uncertainty. So yeah, being positive is a lot harder nowadays, but yeah, we want to work on that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not all about, oh, you just got to be, peaceful and happy and all this. Not at all. I'm more about living life in a factual manner, basically. Okay. So as long as you're willing to better yourself, you will, as long as you work with me. So how does it all work? Well, the start is pretty simple. We jump on a call. I send off questionnaires and we cover your issues, your challenges. What is it that you're struggling with the most? What kind of a lifestyle you have at the moment? I need to know what kind of knowledge you have around food, around training, what kind of experience you have. And I get to know you, over the next while, and your personality as well. Because again, I'm a personal trainer, so I need to understand how it is that you work, or how it is that people work. What are they like? Their attitude towards everything. Will they be willing to work with me or not? Because remember, this is a two-way street when I work with people. Communication is extremely important. So I need to figure out everything, again, from your issues that you're having now. What are the biggest challenges? How are we going to overcome them? And then your current lifestyle. How much do you know? And just your overall personality. Now, how I work. Once we cover the start. So once I know a little bit more about you, we jump online. Let's say I start coaching you. The most important part is going to be education. So there's a course that I've built out on my coaching app. And on that app, there's over an hours of course content in there where I talk about everything from food. So your calories, your macronutrients, the importance of understanding that, to stress management, training, sleep, literally everything, because it's a holistic approach that you want. You cannot just be focused on the gym and food and that's it, because your body is so much more than that. Again, you need to look at your nervous system, your brain, your mind, your own mindset, self-beliefs, and all that kind of stuff. So once we go through the educational part, again, that's at your own pace, preferably in the first 2 weeks, because everyone is, as I understand, is super busy, but you have to make small changes. Then I give you examples of your meals as well. So when it comes to coaching people with food, I give you generic meal plans. They're not kind of meal plans, they're more examples of what way your food should be looking, because we want to focus on protein and make sure we're getting wholesome food in. Then you get the structure. So when it comes to structure, you get everything from weekly goals. Again, it's there. So like your targets, how many workouts we're going to get. You're going to get literally everything. So what steps you want to aim for, how much water you need to drink, just all these kind of small things that add up over time. When it comes to the workouts are built out on the app as well. So let's say if you're a complete beginner, you're not sure how to train, each workout will have a video beside it. I tell you how many sets you have to do, even how long to rest in between your sets, how many reps, literally everything. Of course, at the start, you have to take action, and there's going to be a lot of trial and error. So for the first couple of weeks to a month, there will be a lot of trial and error, because I will still be learning about you, and you will be learning about the information I'm sending you, and you'll be learning about yourself as well when it comes to pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. But as long as, again, I put in action here again twice, as long as you take action, you will be all good. But a lot of people tend to give up pretty soon, because one of the biggest things that I covered at the start is coaches don't keep anyone accountable. So this is where I come in and I make sure that I am keeping you accountable, and I make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can be. As I always say to my own clients, you have to control the controllable. But if there's no one holding you accountable, a lot of people will quickly go back into their old ways. So this is where mindset comes into play. This is why we need to work on that mind of yours, because your brain will give you a lot of excuses to stay down here, because your brain loves comfort. But if you want to, in order to go up here, you will need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And the best way you can do that without failing is my services. So my accountability, I will keep you accountable, making sure that you're putting in the work. But as I mentioned, communication is going to be very important, because it's a two-way street. I can give you all the best programs in the world, I give you the best meal plans, I give you the best structure, but if you're not going to communicate with me and take action, it's not going to happen. And again, at the bottom here, it says consistency as well. So consistency is going to be key with absolutely everything, from training to making sure you get your sleep. So consistent sleep. Again, if you're a parent, I understand there's ways of working around these things. Looking after your food, everything needs to be consistent in order for us to get the results that you need. And finally, adjustments will be made. And again, I'm talking about communication. I just cannot emphasize that enough. The best results that I get with people are the ones that reply to me not within 12 or 24 hours, but within a couple of hours to a couple of minutes. What I will need from people is honesty, effort, communication. I'm after saying it probably 4 or 5 times, but again, I hope you understand how important that is. We will make adjustments as we go along, because there's going to be a lot of trial and error at the start, and then enjoying the journey. That's the main part of it all. If you don't enjoy the journey that you're going through, all you want is the results, you're not going to get there, because people just simply don't. They just burn themselves out. This is why it's so important that, we work together, we communicate, we work on your mindset, we have a clear vision of the person you want to become, and you get the right education in place, you get the right structure, you're kept accountable all the time, we get weekly check-ins, we get targets, we have a structure in place, we have a clear vision of where it is that we're working. That's exactly how we get the results that we want. So this is how I work. This is what Project BU Fit, or the BU Fit method, is all about. I hope you took some value from this, and yeah, that's just how I work. I will work with anyone who's willing to work with me if they're truly ready for a change, and I will never sugarcoat anything. So if you are interested, you simply direct message me on Instagram. You can click the link, you can fill out an application form, and I will get back to you. But yeah, any questions, just give me a shout.